back on Ekman Soch ki Tea Talk Train of Thought with a series of an episode with Mrs. Preeti Sharma. She is an Executive Director with Pragati Software Private Limited and also Managing Director with Letter Prints Publication Private Limited. It's an excellent insight. So what we are getting only on Tea Talk Ekman Soch ki exclusive story of Mrs. Preeti Sharma. Ma'am, welcome back to this episode again.
Thank you.
Now, in fact, excellent journey, like how you build up the Pragati Software Private Limited from 500 square foot to 15,000 square feet, and during COVID-19 also the way you have navigated and taken care of your employees, understanding the relationship and going on the online mode like. And in fact, I think you've also been awarded the Outstanding Women Entrepreneur, jointly formed by FICCI and the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce like. So can you share with your target audience about that?
Yeah. So I remember in 2007, I'm part of the FICCI flow for a long time, and I'm very thankful to be part of the FICCI flow because it's a wonderful organization for women. So there was this form which I had to fill up for the women entrepreneur, and I just filled it up. I was not even thinking about it, and then there is a call which comes from the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce at New York, and they interviewed me online, and they asked me questions and they took details about my company, etc. So what they were essentially looking for is those women who were first generation entrepreneurs who had started the journey of their business themselves, and they found that I fitted into what was the role model they had. So I was awarded this Women Entrepreneur Award in 2007, for which I went to Barcelona to take the award. So that award gave me a lot of confidence that, I can do it. So that was the journey. And along with that award, I got a chance to do a course, a global MBA. So I am an MBA from Mumbai University before, and I got a chance to do a global MBA again in 2009 and 10 from ESA, that is IESE, the very, very famous B school in the world, ranked in the top 5 along with Harvard, to do the global MBA again. So I went and did an 18-month global MBA. So when I applied for that global MBA, they were a bit resistant. They were hesitant, resistant, everything, because at that time I was 44 years old.
Nice.
So they were feeling that 44 years old, will you be able to cope? Are you serious about this? Are you going to use this learning in your life? And then finally, when I went through a series of interviews and discussions with their selection committee, finally they selected me, and I got to do this course with a very, very discounted fee. And I think that was one of the greatest learnings of my life, that when opportunity comes, you should not say no. So I remember my daughter, I have one child, my daughter, she was in the 7th standard that time. Okay. And so it was a big question, should I leave my child and go? And my family is so great. My mother, my husband, my daughter, my in-laws, everybody supported me and said, no, you have this great opportunity, please go. We will take care of the things.
Okay.
So I went to Barcelona. It was a global EMBA, and I used to be there. It was 18-month program. So every 2 months, I had to go for about 15-20 days. And the program was so intense that when I would be back here also, I was running the business also. I was preparing for the next session, and it was so many case studies, etc., that it changed what I was. Like the kind of person I am today in terms of number driven, in terms of being organized, in terms of having a deeper insight into any problem which comes or any situation, is because of the great learning I had in that global MBA. So there is a lot of value to education. There is a lot of value to go to the best place in terms of learning. There's a lot of value to go and attend, have a global mindset. Even if you may feel, no, why should I go? Why should I waste money? I will have to leave my house. No, you have to be ready to do those trade-offs.
Correct.
You have to be ready to take those risks. You have to be ready to take that hardship. Life is not going to come so easily on the plate.
Yeah. Now, one thing many a times, what people they do, they're part of a comfort zone. They don't want to come out from comfort zone. ठीक है, we've got wealth and everything. चल रहा है. Let the things go on its own. But I think you took a plunge to go to Barcelona and go for a value addition. I'm sure like now you might be giving a lot of an scientific touch to the businesses which are there. The way of thinking might have gone differently.
True. My way of thinking, the person I am. So before I went for my global MBA, I was more a right-brained person because I am also a musician. So I'm a marketing person. Normally, musicians, marketing person, their right brain works well. They're more creative, and numbers, graphs, they would elude me. I wouldn't understand them as well. That's the reason why I didn't do accountancy when I was young, because I was more a right brain person.
Right.
The learning which I got from the global MBA was so many case studies, more than 250 case studies we did. First of all, those case studies were so interesting to know 250 different businesses all over the world. How did they handle a particular problem? It made me become a balance between left brain and right brain. So the logical side, which was missing or which was less in my personality, developed. So now with everything I work with the logical way. But because I'm also right brain, the human factor comes. So it's a wonderful blend. To have a right brain and to have a left brain, and to look at the business in a very different way.
Correct. And now in fact, as far as Pragati Software Private Limited, which is concerned, the base foundation was set, and you are part of a corporate training where, as far as your relationship which you have built up over a period of time, are the assets for your organization. And now in fact, many a time coming out from a comfort zone is a challenge for many of them. Now being a woman entrepreneur, like how you took a plunge of getting into a family business of letterprint publication private limited, and how that came your way, like?
Okay, so there it is the letterprint publications is the business. Letterprint is the business which was formed by my father 55 years ago, and there is a lot of learning in this journey, and I am very glad to share it, because all parents would probably learn how to take this kind of situations in their life and would learn what was my learning. So when I was very young, my father, being from that generation, always thought that the business will not go to the daughter. So beti hai, she'll get married, she'll go to her own house. So I was never part of that business. I never knew anything about my father's business. Mistake number one. Okay, I think what I try to do now is, I try to, even though my daughter is not in my business, I do keep on telling her at frequent intervals what we are doing.
Correct.
So even
she's
though
updated.
She's updated. Tomorrow, if for some reason something untoward were to happen to me, at least she's not at sea. At least she doesn't. So my father was running this business for many years. I was not involved in the business. I didn't know anything about the business. And sometime in 2007-8 onwards, he started having signs of dementia. And by the time he was 2012-13, he was having total dementia, in the sense he was unable to recognize anybody. And at that point of time, I got the business. And imagine, I had to re-engineer it. I didn't understand anything.
One thing, coming from software to corporate training and getting into the manufacturing, that of a printing job, or different technology, different set of customers, a great challenge.
Yes. In fact, let me share with you why I took it. So my father, we are refugees from Pakistan. So we came to India. I mean, my parents came to India. Then they came to Mumbai. They settled in Mumbai, and the business was started by my father. And all my life, when I was young, I found my father was so passionate about his business that when he would come in the night at home also, he would be, busy drawing something and, doing the typesetting and all that. And he was always very clear that his business should continue even after his demise. And every time in his conversation with me, he would tell me, "Nahi, ye to we have to run it." So I took over the business with my tribute to my father.
Good. Great.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it, because from IT to printing, it's a very different
It's
world.
a different
Yeah,
world.
it's a different set of customers. It's a different thinking. But it was just so that I wanted to keep my father's memory alive, and his vision that he had slogged his life to be in that business. And I wanted to continue this journey because I had committed to him.
Correct.
And that was his wish. So that is how I got letterprint. I'll tell you, sir, the first time when I went into that office, the phone kept on ringing, So I told my office boy, one boy came, called as Rupesh. I said, Rupya, hey, phone kadunge baba. It's ringing all the time, right? So we removed the phone because we didn't know what to answer to the customer. Okay? And father is already demented, so he cannot explain too much. Very small employee base. So they also were there, not there. Then we removed the telephone, the MTNL lines we removed, and we said, thank God. And can you imagine that that business is so strong, the customer would walk in and say, what happened? Your phone is switched off. So the customer comes and we say, we don't know what to give you, because this register, say, GAR 59, I don't know what GAR 59 means, right? So we opened the godown and we told the customer, see, this is the godown, you take whatever you want. And sir, the customer taught us the business.
Okay.
The customer would keep on coming, teaching us what is this, what is that, what is that, what is that. We had to rewrite the accounts. We had to go back and check the papers. We had to generate the price list. And this journey it is only possible because I was committed to my father. Else I would have said, why to run it?
How much time it took you to get totally into this as far as a particular business, into letterprint?
Very good question. So when I got letterprint, you can imagine the customer would give an order on a fax machine.
Oh yeah.
2014 also, the order would come on the fax. And I am from IT business.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did is I got email ID created. I got a website created. I got, I said no fax, mobile number started being taken. It took me about 48 months to stabilize.
Okay.
48 months. That is 4 years of lot of hard work. I closed the press, I outsourced everything, I rented out those properties, there was a repair work to be done, so my learning was that as parents, if we are able to keep our children in the loop, proactively, it is much easier for them to handle the affairs after the person is no longer there.
Correct, because we can understand the situation which you took this business nightmare in understanding the commitment to the customers and the fulfillment of this thing.
Yeah. In fact, in that 4 years journey, my main business Pragati took a hit because I was so busy in this story. So I think my learning as a parent is that keep your things sorted. So that the next generation can get it much easily, and they can manage everything much more easily than what I had to.
Correct. In fact, the target audience for listening to Mrs. Preeti Sharma on this Talk Boond Soch, I am sure being a part of a business, the parents and the entrepreneur should keep in mind about keeping the near and dear one involved into the kind of business which they are in. Otherwise, it becomes more complicated afterwards to understand the nature of a business and the commitment towards a client. And here, as
in
a
fact,
daughter,
one more thing, sir, I must put in: never discriminate between your children. I
Correct.
think don't think that the daughter will not do it. Finally, the daughter is doing it.
Correct. Now, in fact, being a daughter, a woman entrepreneur, she took the plunge and she took her dad's business, a tribute to him, to late Shri Jaswant Singh Mehtab ji. And I'm sure betiyan bhi kabhi hoti hai, I think as far as we're talking in terms of family, they make them a proud . So हमें गर्व होना चाहिए as far as बेटियां हैं, and I'm sure in each and every decision, if we involve them in the businesses, personal and professional way, I'm sure the things are at more ease . Ma'am, great. Now, in fact, when we talk in terms of letterprint publication, they cater to around 750 central government offices across India. So, whereas it's a huge base, so how you manage this such a great diversity?
Yeah. I think for the letterprint business, just like in Pragati, of course, but in letterprint, I owe it much more to my employees because they handle it independently. I am just there to provide the space. I am there to provide the finances. I am there to provide the overall guidance. The business is run totally by the employees.
Good.
So, and who have been with me in that journey. When we got the business the first. So the same employees have continued, and slowly I am looking at an option where some part of the like the profit sharing numbers will increase. We'll try to see that they get more and more aligned to take over that business.
Okay.
So the legacy of the father continues because those are the people who are actually working on it.
Imagine, I think target audience who are listening to Mrs. Preeti Sharma look in terms of a thought process which are then giving back to in society, grooming and nurturing the employed and the talent within an organization. I think only mind, I think, which have got a broader vision can think on those lines. So it's an excellent exclusive story of Mrs. Preeti Sharma on this Tea Talk Ek Boond Soch Ki. If you like this episode, go to www.teatalk.net. Subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. Do catch up with Mrs. Preeti Sharma for a further story, a journey of her life on this Tea Talk Ek Boond Soch Ki. Ma'am, thanks a lot for being part of the show. Thank you very much.